it's fairly simple because we're going to use a formula. But just to introduce slope, the slope of a line is described as a constant rate of change. Okay, slope can also be described as rise over run, or the change in y over the change in x. So to show the word change, we use the little triangle. So when given 2 points, you're going to use the equation m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 to calculate slope. What I would do is put y1 and x1 in parentheses. That way when there starts to be negatives, you don't get confused. So for this first example, find the slope of a line that passes through 5, 9, and 10, 12. Remember, when we are doing this, our points are always x first and then y. So we're going to go ahead and 5 is going to be our x1, 9 is y1. 10 is x2, 12 is y2. So now we are plugging into our equation of m, which just stands for slope, equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my fraction bar with both the minuses. So y2 is 12 minus y1, so 9. x2 is 10 minus x1, which is 5. So then to get the answer, we just perform the operation. So in the numerator, I have 12 minus 9, so that is just 3. At the bottom, I have 10 minus 5, which is 5. So my slope for those 2 points is 3/5. Okay, so for the next one, x1 is 8, y1 is 0, x2 is 3, y2 is 4. So I'm going to use the same formula. So we have m equals, I'm going to go ahead and draw my minus, my parentheses, and fill in the blanks. So I have y2, which is 4, minus y1, which is 0. I have x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is 8. So now I'm just performing those operations. So I have 4 minus 0, which is 4, 3 minus 8, which is a negative 5. So my slope is negative 4/5, because that negative can kind of float anywhere. Okay. All right, this next one, x1 is 3, y1 is negative 3, x2 is negative 2, y2 is 4. So I have my m equals, I'm going to go ahead and draw my fraction bar with my minus in parentheses. And now we're just filling everything in. So y2 is 4. y1 is negative 3. This is where those parentheses become important. x2 is negative 2. x1 is 3. Okay, remember, when you have a minus and a negative, if you're not putting this in Desmos, it's really adding. So 4 plus 3 is 7. Negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. So we have a slope of negative 7/5. Okay, so now x1 is negative 5, y1 is 7, x2 is negative 6, y2 is 4. So we have m equals our minus in our parentheses, minus in parentheses, and now we're filling it in. So y2 is 4 minus y1 is 7. x2 is negative 6 minus x1, which is negative 5. So we have 4 minus 7, so that's negative 3, over negative 6 minus a negative 5, so negative 6 plus 5, which is negative 1. So we are not going to leave that like that. First, because we have two negatives, but anything over 1 is just a whole number. So our slope is really 3. So we have a slope of 3.